Hey, Ed, come check out my North Star Christmas tree topper. It levitates.
Is this a gummy bear?
Yeah, we lost baby Jesus. Hey, check out these LED lights. I have them synced up to a 76-hour all-Christmas music playlist.
There's my little Christmas DJ.
Ow.
So, are you waiting till Christmas is over so you can go buy a new nativity set when they're on sale?
Huh? No. We lost baby Jesus like 11 years ago.
Is baby Jesus always a gummy bear?
No. We trade it out every year. Yeah, like last year it was a tiny troll doll. And the year before that we used a dog treat. They were the perfect size, but Dalton kept taking them and eating them.
You mean your dog kept stealing them?
No, my son Dalton, he loves those dog treats. Especially the peanut butter ones. There was one year that we used a doll head. That was creepy. We made a modeling clay baby Jesus. So the dog took that one too. One year we got desperate and used an ice cube. That was a miss and a mess. Yeah, just seems like everything we try to replace baby Jesus with never lasts.
Say that again.
Everything we try to replace baby Jesus with never seems to last.
And
what?
say it again, slowly.
Why?
Just do it, dulcimo, slowly, do it.
I don't understand what's happening.
Just do it.
This is getting weird. Fine. But when I'm done saying this, you're gonna march in here and you're gonna watch my star levitate.
Fine. Do it.
Fine. Everything we try to replace baby Jesus with never seems to, oh, yep, there it is. Okay. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
That's an interesting take on Christmas, don't you think? If you're a guest here tonight, in person or online, welcome. Can I add my welcome to that? My name's Troy, the pastor here, and we're so glad you joined us for our Christmas celebrations. Now, being Christmas, I'm sure that there is something that you have made good use of over the last little while, and that being, well, something that looks like this, a little bit of a wallet, and you know, that your wallet might have got a little bit of a caning over the last few weeks. So even if you do most of your shopping online, you would need to still get your wallet or your purse out to even get the credit card out to buy something online. So what sort of shape is your wallet and purse in at the moment after all the spending you've done for Christmas this year? But you know, it's interesting that when you have a think about what's in our wallets now. I mean, things have changed dramatically from what used to be in the wallet, isn't it? Like, I mean, thanks to COVID, don't carry cash anymore. So I can't remember the last time I actually had money in my wallet. And it makes you wonder about what do all those child Christmas buskers at the shopping centre, how do they get on? Do they make any money considering no one carries cash anymore? So it makes you think that not only do you not have cash in the wallet anymore, but there's a whole lot of stuff not on here anymore that I used to have. Might be the same for your wallet, your purse as well. I mean, not only do we not have cash anymore, but you know, my driver's license and my credit cards, they're all on my phone now. My Medicare card, the health fund card, they're all on my phone as well. So it makes you think, why do you need this anymore? Why do you need your wallet or your purse? Now, for me, it's a little bit of a security blanket because I can't leave the house without having my wallet in my back pocket. I've got to have it in there. I feel naked if I leave the house without my wallet in my back pocket, even if it's got nothing in it other than business cards, then I've got to have it. Maybe you're the same. Maybe you've got to leave home with your wallet, with your purse to make sure that you feel whole and complete. But what is in your wallet or your purse these days? You know, for me, if I actually have a look at it, not only do I have a couple of business cards in there, but photos. I have photos in my wallet. It seems that my wallet now is simply just a hard copy photo carrying device now, more than anything else. And it's interesting that because I've been using my wallet a little bit for Christmas time and for various things, I've opened up and I keep on seeing this image here. Now, if you can't see what that image is, unless you have extraordinary eyesight and you've been eating your carrots, then you probably can't see that. So let me show you what this photo I have is that actually in my wallet. If you can tick that over for us, please, Kate, that would be great. There it is. Now, that is a photo of my wife, Edwina, that was taken almost 26 years ago at our engagement party. Drop dead gorgeous, huh? Be careful how you answer that. Absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Now, when I've been using my wallet lately, I've been noticing this photo that I've had there. Now, I've had this photo in this wallet I've had this photo carrying around me for ages, for years, in fact. And even when I get a new wallet, I transfer the photo from the old wallet into the new. But it is something that I continually have with me. And when I started using the wallet recently, and I kept on looking at this picture, and I started to wonder, I wonder how Edwina feels about this. Because what we have to realise is that the Edwina that I know now is very much different to the person that we see there at the engagement party. I mean, Edwina is so much more loving now, so much more beautiful now, so much more amazing and inspiring and forgiving and patient than what she was back when this photo was taken. She was amazing back then, but she is so much more now. So even though she was amazing back then, and if she is so much more amazing now, why do I have such an old photo of her in my wallet? You know, it's only just occurred to me, I wonder how Edwina feels about me carrying around such an old photo of her. Does it make her feel honoured and loved? Does it make her feel perhaps a little bit insecure, knowing that I'm carrying around a photo from her when she was a little bit younger? You know, is me keeping a photo, this photo in my wallet, is that actually making her feel that I don't actually like the person that she is today, that I only like the person from 25 years ago? You know, if I think that my wife is more beautiful, more loving, more everything right now, and if I love her so much more than what I did back then why do I still carry around a photo of her from so long ago? You know, perhaps you are the same. In your purse or in your wallet, or even on the walls of your house, you may have photos of people that you love. But do those photos best represent the person that you know today? Why do we keep old photos up on our walls? Why do we keep on carrying around these photos with us in our purses or our wallets? Could it be that photo just captures the perfect moment of a great time that we had with them? Or it captures the moment where we had the most fun, the most joy, the greatest amount of happiness. That's why we carry it around with them. It could be that this image that we carry around with us that we still have up on our walls, you know, represents the best version of them, that we think anyway. And so we held on to that image so very dearly. The photo that I have in my wallet doesn't do justice to the Edwina that I know now. Do the photos in your wallet and in your purse or on your walls, do they do justice to the person that you love, considering who they are now? You know, we are finishing tonight and tomorrow morning the series that we've been going through over the course of the last few weeks called The Characters of Christmas. And this series has been all about looking more closely at the main people who make up the classic nativity scene that most of us are familiar with and that most of us love. You know, we looked at the wise men. Diane kicked us off with looking at the wise men, or the Magi from a couple of weeks ago. Well, I say Magi, or that's cooking ingredients now, isn't it? Yeah, the Magi. That's better pronunciation, isn't it? The Magi. We looked at Joseph, Jesus' father. We also looked at Mary, the mother of Jesus, and Edwina talked to us about Mary last week. And so being Christmas Eve, being Christmas, it's appropriate for us then to to focus on the main character in the nativity event, in the Christmas event, that being Jesus. Now, what we've discovered as we've looked through this particular series is that the Christmas story is more than just a single moment with a baby lying in a manger. In fact, Mary and Joseph, the Christmas story started, 9 months ago, at least 9 months previous. When we look at the wise men, the Magi, for them, the story began weeks before them actually coming to see the baby because they had to travel so far. And like Edwina talked to us about last week, it didn't stop with the manger, with the baby in the manger, but rather we also learned that part of the Christmas story is that Mary and Joseph had to take Joseph to the temple in Jerusalem 8 days after he was born, as was the Jewish tradition at the time. And what happened there at the temple with a guy called Simeon is just as important to the Christmas story as any other details that we read as well. And so tonight, what I want to do is I want to finish off the Christmas story by looking at the last couple of verses in the Christmas chapter in the Bible. Now, Luke chapter 2 in the New Testament is generally regarded as the Christmas chapter. So let's look at the last couple of verses because they are verses that very few of us actually recognise are there. We may not have even read it before because we focus on the stuff that precedes it so much. So let's see how the Christmas story finishes by looking at the last verses of Luke chapter 2. This is what it says. It says, when Joseph and Mary had done everything required by the law of the Lord when it came to the newborn Jesus, they returned to Galilee to their own town of Nazareth. And the child grew and became strong, and he was filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him. It's interesting that the Christmas story finishes with it saying that the child Jesus grew. Now, my wife, Edwina, is not the only one in my life that I love. Edwina and I have a daughter, Taylor. Now, Edwina and I can only have one child, and so our daughter, Taylor, she is an absolute fair dinkum miracle. She's simply amazing. Now, can you humour me for a moment? Can you extend grace to me just for a few moments? Can I show you some of the photos of Taylor? Is that all right? If I can do a bit of a dad brag just for a moment, can I do that? Let's have a look at some photos of Taylor. There we go. There's a photo of Taylor, and then there's another one there, I think, there as well. Yep, there it is. Ignore the goatee for a minute. So there's another one of Taylor, and I think there's one more. There we go. There's another one of Taylor. She's so great. These are the photos of our girl. Now, if you had a chance to meet Taylor, you would know why we love her so much. This is Taylor. But why is it that out of all the photos that I could show you of our daughter, I show you these ones? I mean, there's so much more to Taylor than simply this photo. You know, Taylor's nearly 20 now. Can't get my head around that. She's nearly 20 now. And she is incredibly, she's smart and she's caring and she's creative and she's strong and resilient. Why show you these photos if there's so much more to Taylor than simply her on the second day of her life? See, the reason why I want to show you these photos is because I wonder if we do the same thing with Jesus when it comes to Jesus. Because let me show you the photos that we have, or the pictures, I won't say photos, the pictures that we have of Jesus. Let's have a look at them now. There's that one. And yeah, this one. And another one again. There we go. They're the pictures that we have of Jesus. Over 400 years before Jesus' birth, God gave the prophet Isaiah words that were foretell about how Jesus was going to come into this world. And in what are familiar words to all of us, or most of us, particularly because Kirsty read them to us this evening already, Isaiah wrote down these words. He says, "For to us a child is born, and to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. So how does the images of Jesus lying in the manger relate to the words of the prophet Isaiah? Well, we can see from the first line of that verse, if you can bring that back up for us then for a sec, please, thank you, that for to us a child is born. So there's clearly an alignment there between the image that we have, the picture that we have of Jesus, and the words of Isaiah. But how can the baby be Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace? See, the baby Jesus can't be those things, but Jesus the man can. So my question to us this evening is simply this. If we can tick that, please. Have we let Jesus grow up? Or like many of our photos in our wallets or in purses or hanging on our walls, have we frozen Jesus in a moment? Have we frozen Jesus as a baby in the manger? See, we are here tonight because we recognise that there is something significant, something special about Jesus. But for many of us, we have left Jesus back at the point which for us best represents who Jesus is to us, and that is simply a humble child in a manger. See, my daughter is not the person that she was on the second day of her life. My wife is no longer the person that she was at our engagement party. And we will let our kids and we will let our spouses and those close to us grow up before us. But do we allow Jesus to do the same? Perhaps you've seen this nativity scene at Rouse Hill. We can see this photo here. Perhaps you've seen this nativity scene at Rouse Hill Town Centre over the last few weeks. Everyone's seen the movie Night at the Museum? You know what that movie is, don't you? It's a movie that's set in the Natural Museum of History in New York. And what happens is that at night something magical happens and all the displays come alive for some magical way during the night. Now imagine if we had a Night at Museum sort of experience there at Rouse Hill Town Centre. We'll call it Night at the Mall. And imagine that these characters, these nativity scene characters, actually came alive. I would imagine that the baby Jesus there would hop up out of the manger, come down to the Perspex screen and start beating on it and saying, "This is not only who I am. Let me grow up." See, for many of us, we keep Jesus as a baby in the nativity scene because Jesus is cute. Jesus is safe. Few people have a problem with the baby Jesus. We love the baby Jesus. But as those of us who have been fortunate enough to be parents know, the more our kids grow, the more intentional that you need to be about your investment into them. What we discover is that our children change us and they challenge us. I'm a very different person today because of Taylor, my daughter, being in my life than I was when she first came into that world and when I was donning that goatee. I'm a very different person now because of how our child has affected us. And we're happy to go on that journey because of our love and our affection for them, and we're prepared to invest ourselves as our child grows. We're prepared to be challenged. We're prepared to be changed. We're prepared to invest ourselves as our child grows. But often we keep Jesus as a baby because it doesn't cost us anything when we do. Sure, we acknowledge his birth, but we don't invest ourselves in his life. If we were to carry around pictures of Jesus in our wallets and in our purses, I wonder how many of us would have the nativity scene picture in our wallets. Because that, for many of us, is the scene that best represents who Jesus is to us. Now, the prophet Isaiah said that Jesus would be Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. But well, how do we know that Jesus is actually who the prophet said that he would be? How do we know that Jesus is Wonderful Counselor? Well, we let Jesus grow up and we let him show us how he can guide and counsel us. How do we know Jesus is Mighty God? We let him grow up. We let Jesus grow up. We let him show us the power and the ability to do the things that only God can do. How do we know that he's Everlasting Father? Well, we let Jesus grow up. And we let Jesus show us something of the power of the resurrection and the resurrection for us who believe in the man, Jesus. How do we know that he is the Prince of Peace? We let Jesus grow up and we let him welcome us into peace, where we can find that peace and contentment that we all long for. And he shows us how we can live at peace with one another. But we can see this about Jesus if we will let Jesus grow up and not simply be the baby that's in the manger. Jesus' birth was foretold hundreds of years before it actually happened. But more than simply his birth, we have to remember that his life was part of this prophecy as well. Part of the prophecy of Jesus was about the person that he would become as he grew out of the manger. We've got to recognise the manger, but he grew out of the manger. The prophecy was about who Jesus would become. The character of the Christmas story is not merely a baby, but a baby that grew and showed himself to be the Messiah and Saviour of the world that he was born to be. You know, today we celebrate Jesus' birthday, or tomorrow we celebrate Jesus' birthday. Imagine how your child would feel if each year on their birthday you gave them exactly the same birthday card as you have for the whole of life. Imagine that you gave them this card. If you can't see it, it says, to a special boy on your first birthday. It could be a special girl sending a big birthday wish. Now, imagine if every birthday you gave your child the exact same card. They could be 14, they could be 35, 55. You give them exactly the same card every year. How do you think that they would respond to that? Do you think that they would say, Dad, I'm not one anymore? How do you think that they would respond to that? We wouldn't do that, would we? Because we have watched and we have allowed our child to grow up, and we interact with our child as they've got older and become the person that we now know them to be. But it's interesting that we come to Christmas and we give Jesus exactly the same Christmas card every year, because all we focus on is a little baby lying in the manger. And we don't allow ourselves to see Jesus as the man who he became. It's important, you know, we will think about how our children may have come into the world, and we may think of it nostalgically, and it's good for us to do that. But the only way that Jesus can show you who he truly is and who the people say that he would be is if we let Jesus come out of the manger and for us to see him as the man that he would become. You know, from the clip that we saw just a little bit earlier, you know, maybe we haven't replaced Jesus with a gummy bear or a troll doll, but I wonder if we replaced Jesus the man with a perpetual image of Jesus the baby. Remember the words that Kirsty read to us earlier from Isaiah? If you can bring that up again, please. Kate, that'd be great. It says, for us, a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. This is who Jesus became. And this is who Jesus remains today. It started with the Nativity, but Jesus didn't stay there. He grew. And so I hope that there is room in your heart and room in your life for the grown-up Jesus, the man Jesus, the crucified Jesus, the resurrected Jesus. There's even more joy to be found in the man Jesus than there is in the baby Jesus. And as much as you may love the baby Jesus, you're going to love the man Jesus a whole lot more. Now, you may know the baby Jesus, but we can introduce you to the man Jesus tonight, if you'd like to. If you'd like to meet the person that Jesus grew to be and remains today, don't leave here tonight without the opportunity to come and speak to me. We'd love to introduce you to the man Jesus.